America is no stranger to wacky, unfounded conspiracy theories, from the Illuminati to lizard people running the world. Due to biased media for both the left and right being controlled by corporations only focused on ad revenue, the lack of trust people have in the mainstream media has increased. This has led some to find information in a different way and what they perceive to be the real truth. In recent years, there's been a new conspiracy theory by the name of QAnon. Since 2017, QAnon has spread claims about nefarious groups of elites that are involved in human trafficking, satanic rituals that rule the world and control the media. These conspiracies started on threads on websites such as 4chan, where posts are signed by an anonymous poster by the name of Q, who claims to be this high-level government insider secretly working to expose the global cabal. The posts then become known as Q drops. Followers of Q call themselves Anons. Followers claim that they are truth seekers and they are tired of being manipulated by the mainstream media. They don't tend to need much, if any, real evidence to back up these claims, and many Q drops are considered by Anons to be written in code that only they can decipher. The core QAnon conspiracy theory is that the cabal of satanic cannibalistic sexual abusers of children that operate the child sex trafficking ring are conspiring against former US President Donald Trump during his first term in office. QAnon believers claim to have been red-pilled, which is a reference to the movie The Matrix, and have urged friends and family members to follow the White Rabbit, which is a line from The Matrix that is actually itself a reference from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Now, there is also a theatrical trailer for White Squall, which is a 1996 Ridley Scott disaster film which warned of the calm before the storm. And this provided the QAnon with perhaps its most recognizable slogan: "Where we go one, we go all." In 2021, a report released by the PRRI found that 15% of Americans believe that the group of elites that are involved in human trafficking and satanic rituals rule the world and control the media. They are unwavering in their beliefs no matter how much of the theories are debunked. In fact, there are so many theories that I will not be covering in this video, otherwise it would be too long. But one of the biggest issues with the QAnon community is that no matter how many theories are debunked, more and more emerge. So, what were some of the posts posted by Q during this time period? Q's first post was called "Calm Before the Storm," which said that Hillary Clinton was about to be arrested, which would cause massive unrest and be followed by numerous other arrests. A second message was posted a few hours later stating that Clinton was being detained, though not arrested yet, and that Trump was planning to remove criminal rogue elements. These claims, like many other by Q, are baseless and unfounded and have been easily disproven time and time again. Now, some of the other posts dropped by Q over the years. The Mueller investigation was a counter-coup led by Trump, who pretended to conspire with Russia to hire Mueller to secretly investigate the Democrats and expose the child trafficking ring. Now, of course, when the Mueller report would eventually come out, that whole theory would have no water at all. Q also claimed that the CIA had installed the North Korean leader Kim Jong-un as a puppet leader. Another theory being that German Chancellor Angela Merkel is Adolf Hitler's granddaughter. And one of the more famous theories, of course, is that Obama, Hillary Clinton, George Soros and others are planning a coup against Trump and are involved in the sex trafficking ring. He also claimed by February 10th, 2018 that people targeted by Trump will commit suicide en masse. The cabal is thought to cover up its existence by controlling politicians, mainstream media and Hollywood. Q's revelations imply that the cabal's destruction is imminent, but also that it will be accomplished only with the support of the true patriots of the QAnon community. And this particular event became known as the Storm, when thousands of people would be arrested and possibly sent to Guantanamo Bay prison or face military trials. The US military then would apparently take over the country, and the result would be salvation and utopia on Earth. QAnon beliefs implied a rejection of government officials other than Trump and his close associates, as well as the mainstream institutions and media. Unfortunately, there was always going to be some real life violence as a result of the claims made by Q. And this began in June 2018 when a man by the name of Matthew Wright staged a nearly hour-long standoff with law enforcement on a bridge near the Hoover Dam. He was armed with a pair of assault rifles, handguns and 900 rounds of ammunition. He would then go on to block traffic with his armoured vehicle and stated that he was on a mission from QAnon to demand access to an official report by the FBI on the agents who had investigated Hillary Clinton's use of private email server for official communications. In March 2019, Anthony Camillo shot and killed Gambino crime family boss Francesco Cali reportedly because Camillo believed that he was a Trump's personal vigilante and that Kelly was a member of the deep state. In 2016, the Pizzagate incident occurred when a gunman opened fire at a pizzeria that he falsely claimed to be a front for a child sex trafficking ring. Now, of course, QAnon believers were staunch believers in Donald Trump, and Donald Trump himself was not afraid to share QAnon theories because he was getting a lot of promotion from this group, and I don't genuinely think he believed a lot of what this group was saying, but he was willing to use them to get more votes. So, of course, during the 2020 election, QAnon believed that with no doubt Trump was guaranteed to win the election.
I haven't been as this excited in a long time. Feeling in the air is electric. Like I said, we already know Trump's won this, So now it's just November 3rd was the formality.
Okay, so what do you do from here on out?
What I do from here on out, we're going to party. We're going to bring the Don back in. It'll be better than New Year's.
Now, of course, Trump would sow the seeds before the election to state that if he did not win, it would have to have been because it was rigged. When Trump eventually would go on to lose and started to share the conspiracy of voter fraud, the QAnon movement believed the election was stolen and that Trump had won based on early projections before the mail-in ballots entered the equation. They claimed the fraud came from the company that makes the voter machines. Now, Trump would go on with the QAnon guys and claim that the Dominion Voting Systems, which is the company that makes the voting machines, apparently deleted millions of Trump votes, citing a report from the far-right cable news outlet One American News Network. When Trump lost the election, Q stopped posting, but this led to the QAnon followers to come up with their own theories. Joe Biden's inauguration on January 20th, 2021 would be an elaborate trap set for Democrats who would be arrested en masse and executed while Trump retained power. When that didn't happen, Trump would then be apparently inaugurated on March 4th, 2021 as the 19th president. When that didn't happen, Trump would then be inaugurated again on March 20th, 2021. And of course, when this did not happen, the QAnon predicted that it would happen on August 13th, 2021. They also believed that the Arizona audit would prove election fraud, handing the state to Trump, and other states would follow suit, resulting in Trump being reinstated as president. Now, one of the most bizarre beliefs they had was that John F. Kennedy, the former US president who was assassinated in 1963, or his son, John F. Kennedy Jr., who died in 1999, would appear alive in front of a crowd in Dallas on November 2nd, 2021, and announce that Trump would be reinstated as president and the installation of Kennedy Jr. as vice president. Now, of course, this is ridiculous, stupid, and just insane to believe, and it goes to show that the QAnon guys will literally believe anything they're told with enough confidence. They do not fact check these things because they're so desperate to find the hidden message and to fight the apparent deep state that they believe exists, that people showed up and were somewhat surprised when John F. Kennedy didn't appear. Now, of course, this would lead to bigger consequences. That day is a day that will long be in American history, when the Capitol building was attacked. Now, on the day of the attack, the Anti-Defamation League, the British security firm G4S, and also the watchdog Advanced Democracy Incorporated were studying QAnon posts and made numerous warnings for the potential for violence on January 6, 2021. Violence did occur that day as attempts to overturn the election culminated with the attack on the US Capitol, where multiple QAnon-affiliated protesters participated in this disturbance. Rioters were either seen wearing clothing with Q-related emblems or identified as QAnon followers from video footage. The most famous participant in the QAnon, of course, is a man by the name of Jake Angeli, who was a QAnon supporter, also known as the QAnon Shaman. Another QAnon follower who was killed by police during the break-in of the Speaker's lobby was a committed follower of QAnon by the name of Ashley Babbitt. The day before the attack, she had tweeted, "The storm is here and is descending upon DC in less than 24 hours." These attacks led to a crackdown on QAnon related content, pages and accounts on social media platforms including Facebook and Twitter. On April 19th, 2021, the Suvon Center reported that Russia and China had amplified and weaponized QAnon stories, which is not even remotely shocking. It's important to note that social media plays a huge role in spreading QAnon conspiracy theories, and this became very prevalent during COVID-19 when there was a huge spike in the numbers. From October 2017 to June 2020, the Institute for Strategic Dialogue identified over 69 million tweets, 487,000 Facebook posts and 281,000 Instagram posts mentioning QAnon related phrases or hashtags. About 1 in 5 adults who have an account on right-leaning social media platforms said that they post and or engage with content related to QAnon in a positive manner, compared to the 1 in 10 adults in the US who said the same. Now, when Q did post, his posts tend to use phrases such as "I've said too much," "some things must remain classified" to the very end. He also used recurring phrases such as "trust the plan" and "enjoy the show" and "nothing can stop what is coming." And these statements give Q a lot of flexibility and credibility to the QAnon followers. Now, on May 30th, 2019, the FBI released an intelligence bulletin memo from the Phoenix field office that identified QAnon-driven extremists as domestic terrorism threat. Now, the FBI also said another factor driving the intensity of anti-government extremism is the uncovering of real conspiracies or cover-ups involving illegal, harmful, or unconstitutional activities by the government officials or leading political figures. So any sort of cover-up or alleged illegal activity that was actually happening for real, in a real objective way, was only feeding the fuel to the fire for these QAnon guys. Now, Congress did react to the increasing issues with QAnon, and on August 25th, 2020, 2 US representatives by the name of Tom Malinowski, who was a Democrat, and Republican Denver Riggleman, introduced a bipartisan simple resolution by the name of 1154, condemning QAnon and rejecting its conspiracy theories. Now, of course, there is some people in Congress who do agree with the QAnon, and one would be the amazing, hilariously stupid Marjorie Taylor Greene, who won in August 2020 runoff to become the GOP nominee in the 14th Congressional District in Georgia. In 2020, she also stated that many of Q's claims have really proven to be true, with of course no evidence to back that up. Months into Trump's presidency, she stated in a video that there's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to take this global cabal of Satan-worshipping pedophiles out, and I think we have the president to do it. Now again, does she genuinely believe that? I don't know. Based off what she tweets about, it's fair to say she could very well believe it. But she, like a lot of the QAnon followers, are willing to believe things without any factual evidence or proof other than this random post. To this day, Green still promotes a lot of the unfounded nonsense as a poor attempt to discredit Biden and the Democratic Party. Now, unfortunately for the followers of Q, they've gotten so sucked into this unfounded theories and that they've lost family members who can't believe their unfounded claims. Now, other theories worth mentioning by the QAnon community would be, of course, they didn't believe COVID is real. They believed that the vaccine had 5G chips designed to control us by Bill Gates and the New World Order. Q also suggested that hydrochloroquine, endorsed by Donald Trump at that time, was a cure for disease, and accused Democrats of forcing infected patients into nursing homes, which deliberately causing most COVID-related deaths in the US. And some QAnon followers have said that the pandemic was fake, and others have claimed that the deep state created the pandemic. They also had created their own video by the name of Plandemic, which claimed that the COVID wasn't real, that it was all created by deep state to control people. Now, with that all being said, who is Q? What is Q? Where is Q? Who the hell is Q? Well, the Q persona was that of a well-connected individual with access to high-level, sensitive government information who put himself at risk by dispensing the knowledge to 4chan. In 2021, the investigating journalist company by the name of Bellingate analysed several little-known posts published by Q during the days that followed his first drops. While containing text identical to later messages authored by Q, those also showed Q being out of character and behaving in a manner similar to 4chan's other anonymous posters, so claiming that basically perhaps that Q has multiple identities. They also have a theory that the author of these messages have not yet perfected the Q persona and was still kind of selling on a voice and an online alter ego, which implies that Q was originally once a 4chan poster among many instead of one powerful government insider. And the fact that that has to be something that needs to be said is ridiculous. So some other theories about who Q possibly could be is that he is perhaps a military intelligence officer, a Trump administration insider, Michael Flynn, Stephen Miller, or even Trump himself. And one QAnon influencer by the name of Austin Steinbart caused controversy within the QAnon community by claiming that Q was his own time-traveling future self. If that doesn't give you a sense of what the community is, then what does? I actually feel sorry for the community. I feel sorry for the families who have lost their loved ones because they're so trapped in believing that this is the way the world is and that we're all being controlled, and they just can't get out of this rabbit hole because they think they've found something that's so new and different that other people can't see. And it's sad, and all you can do is hope that they see sense someday. And thankfully, the last few years, the group has lost a lot of credibility since Trump lost the election in 2020, and Q himself or herself seems to have completely vanished. The biggest concern I guess I would have is what group comes next, what emerges to create this crazy fake news, misinformation that's dominant in our internet world and doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If there's anything that I left out, or if there's parts you don't agree with or agree with, let me know in the comments below what you think of the QAnon community. Do you believe some of what they think? Do you think they're all full of shit? Do you think it's a huge concern that Americans should have? Or is it something that propped up and thankfully has gone away? Either way, let me know in the comments down below. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Much appreciated. If you could, like, share and subscribe. Always very much appreciated. As always, I really appreciate everyone that takes the time. I hope that you learned something from the videos, like I do every time I make them. So thanks so much, guys, for watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.